government is entertaining at all.
The Minister has completed his answer. The member for Menzies has the floor.
Mr Speaker, I asked the Minister for Veterans Affairs and Minister for Defence Personnel if he would update the House on how the Morrison government is ensuring that Australian veterans continue to receive the crucial financial support that they deserve.
The Minister for Veterans Affairs and Minister for Defence Personnel has the call.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for Menzies for his question. He is, of course, a former Minister for Defence, and he has served his electorate, he has served this parliament, and he has served our nation with distinction, and I want to thank him for that and for his ongoing advocacy for veterans. Mr Speaker, our country asks a lot of those who serve and those who have served our nation in uniform, and we also ask a lot of their families. And so the least that we can do in return, Mr Speaker, is to make sure that they have the best possible care, treatment and support that our country can provide. That's why this year we're investing $11.7 billion to support 336,000 veterans and their families with care and support, including free mental health care for life. But the work for veteran welfare can never cease, and that's why this week the Assistant Treasurer and I have announced that we're going to pass legislation to ensure that vulnerable veterans affected by the federal court decision known as Douglas will not suffer those adverse effects, and that they won't have extra tax taken out of their fortnightly invalidity pensions, up to $100 per fortnight, that they won't be hit by back tax, and that could affect up to 7,000 veterans, Mr Speaker. We're also going to ensure that those veterans who've had a win and a benefit under Douglas will keep that benefit. Ultimately, this is about ensuring that there's more money going into the pockets of vulnerable veterans, and we'll be working closely with stakeholders to ensure that we can get that legislation right and get it through the House next year. Mr Speaker, tomorrow the Royal Commission into Defence and Veteran Suicide will begin with a ceremonial sitting in Brisbane. And over the coming months, Mr Speaker, the nation will hear evidence which is very traumatic and very tragic, but, Mr Speaker, they are stories that our nation has to hear. And it is my hope, and indeed our hope, that this Royal Commission can be a catalyst for positive change in the treatment of our ADF personnel, veterans and also their families. But I just want to let anyone associated with the Royal Commission or who is following it know that there is support and care and counselling available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for those who need it. ADF personnel, veterans and their families. They can call Open Arms on 1800 011 046, or for those who want to make contact anonymously, they can call Safe Zone Support on 1800 142 072, and I would encourage anyone who feels in need of that support to reach out, because it is there and we are there for them, Mr Speaker. Well said. Well done.